about my favorite comic series, Haikyuu, which also means volleyball in Japanese. And this is my table of content. First, I'm gonna give you some brief information about Haikyuu. Then I'll talk about the characters and the main story structure. Then I'll talk about the features of Haikyuu, which is also the reason I like it so much. And last but not least, I'll talk about my favorite lines in the story and about my reflection at last. And for a while, I want to ask you that how many people here have you ever read these comics? Ever? Yeah, quite a lot. Okay, thank you. And first, I'm going to talk about Haikyuu. Is that Haikyuu is painted by Furuta Haruichi, who is also a middle blocker on his team when he was in senior high school. And he started to paint Haikyuu in 2012, and it took him about 8 years to finish the whole series, which also contains 402 chapters in total. And since the Haikyuu became more and more famous, it is also adapted into animation, movie, and novels. And now I'm going to introduce the protagonist in this story. As you can see on the screen, these two people are the main characters in the story. The one on your left-hand side is called Hinata Shoyong, and he plays the middle blocker on the team. He is a short-stature person, but with a great passion for volleyball. And below here are the two titles that have connection with them, and I'll explain the strongest decoy first. Because he's short, but he possesses the ability to jump very high. And this contrast makes lots of his opponents to put more focus on him and give his teammates more chance to attack and get scores. So they get him the strongest decoy to praise him. And for a little giant, I'll explain in the later slide. And for one on your right side is called Kageyama Tobio. He's a talented setter, but lacking of the ability to communicate with his team members when he was in junior high school. So his team members give him the title King of the Court to deride him that he is only the person with power but don't know how to cooperate with others. And here are the other characters on Karasuno's team, but I think that some of you may sing the movies of similar comics, but so I won't explain. I won't introduce most of them. I'll just slide there. And these are the schools and also their competitors shown in the comics. And now I'm going to talk about the main story structure. The story began with one time when Hinata saw a volleyball game on the television. And one of the players was from Karasuno. He was also short, but he plays as the ace of the team, which means that he is the best attacker. And the reporter called him the little giant to praise him. Hinata was attracted and set his mind to be a great volleyball player like Little Giant in the future. And three years later, Kageyama and Hinata first met in a tournament in their junior high school. And at that game, Hinata's team was all composed of amateurs and of course defeated easily by Kageyama's team, which has been trained very well. And though this game just ended without no doubt, they both have a deep impression in each other. And after they entered Karasuno Senior High School, they surprisingly found out that they become team members this time instead of the opponents. And Karasuno was once famous for volleyball, but it just has become their better days. And the leader at that time is called Sawamura. He wants to revitalize the team, so he gathers all the members, including Hinata and Kageyama, who once hate each other very much, but finally they create a quick attack by getting good use of their force. and this team they come across of some many obstacles and defeats lots of competitors and from county game to national games. And there are stories about when Hinata flies to Brazil to play beach volleyball to enhance his volleyball skills, and also when he came back to Japan and become a professional volleyball player, and he and Kageyama also became a professional volleyball player, and they all play for the national team. And now I want to talk about the features of Haikyuu, and it's also the reason I think, and it's also the point I think what a sport comic should have. Yeah, the first and second one is that Haikyuu's painting is exquisite, and the storyboard is fluent and continuous, so the readers won't feel awkward because of the discontinuance of the storyboard. So, and they can also, wait a minute, I'll show you a screenshot from the comics, but it's more, I'll explain the story, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the first one here is that Hinata strike a ball and Kageyama use his hand to block the ball. And when the ball is going to drop to the ground, Hinata use his feet to kick the ball up and fastly move from the right of the court to the left, and pretend jump to attack the ball. And Kageyama's attention was distracted by him, and at this time, Hinata's team setter set a ball to another attacker to let him strike a ball and get a score. So as you can see, this whole score is fluent and continuous, and so the readers can feel the exciting feeling of the game. And the third one is that each character has his distinctive appearance and personality. And the author also gave the players their special techniques. Like Hinata is one who can jump high and possess endless energy. And there is also a character called Tanaka. And the crossbike is his biggest weapon. And for the fourth one is that the story is all consistent with the reality. The author didn't use magic powers or some secret weapons to make the story feel exciting or attractive. Yeah, and also the games like IH and Olympic in the story, they are also the real game that in Japanese senior high school they will attend. Yeah, and then for the fifth point is the sparking point. I think that really makes Haikyuu different from other sport comics is that most of the characters appear at the end of the story again. Just like when most of the characters appear in the story first time, they were all senior high school students, and when at the end again, they all appear again, and it's about years later. Some of them keep playing volleyball and become a professional player, but most of the others, they just keep studying and graduating from school and start to work. Like their captain here, he became a police officer, and also there's a team member, he became a school teacher. Yeah, so I think this is the author gave us a point to think that what would you be in the future after leaving the school? And I think it's a point that's quite touching to me. And I'll share you my favorite lines and reflection here. Here, the first one here is when Kageyama and Hinata first met in junior high school, and Kageyama doubted that if Hinata can be a good volleyball player because of his short stature, and Hinata answered him confidently, said that though I'm sure I can jump high. And the second one is when Hinata was in Brazil. I mentioned that he went to Brazil to play beach volleyball, and beach volleyball is played on the sand, so he lost his ability to jump very high, which is one of his biggest weapons. And so the person asking, don't you ever feel upset or depressed because of this? And he says, I like to improve. And no matter how many times, I always feel happy from 0 to 100. And Nathan Blind reflection. I think this comics told me that everyone can be his or her own hero, no matter your physical stature or something. So we can all be brave to pursue our dream and jump out your comfort zone. I think Hinata's journey served as a good motivation for me. We can all find our true value, and the true greatness is depend on our mindset. And this is end of my presentation. Thank you. Does anyone have a question?
So do you play volleyball too?
Yes, I'm on the team in my department.
What do you think about the thing that they finally defeat Shiroko Izawa because I cried while watching it?
I think it's really a tough game because I don't know. I speak the Chinese, and Nuro is a strong player, and each player on Binaga is have their special ability, and I think why they won is because that their perseverance and their cooperation.
Good. Further questions? Kelly?
Do you prefer the comics more or the animation?
Oh, I watched the animation for the prior period, and because animation is because the end of the animation is have not adapted yet. Yeah, but I think I prefer the comics. Yeah, because I like the original one better.
Good. Any others? So, do you have hard copies of the comics?
Please.
So, I mean, do you buy the comic books?
No, I just watch it online.
Do you first play volleyball and see the comics, or you see the comics first?
I think haiku is the reason why I started to like volleyball. I just played volleyball in the PE class in senior high school, but I didn't like it that much. Yeah. But these comics just make me love more volleyball.
What is your favorite character?
My favorite character, I think, is Genma in the is this one with yellow hair. Yeah. Why I like him is because that, well, I think his mind is kind of related to me. Is that he's not really like volleyball at first time, and he just said, "I'm so tired. I don't want to play volleyball." Yeah, and in the process of their competition, he became more enjoy it. Yes, so I think that's why I have renaissance with him. Yes.
Will you go to see the movie next?
Yeah, of course. Any
Good.
questions?
Any others?
So do you buy any culture or some related product?
Well, no, because for me, if I choose Star or like a comics, I won't spend money on it. Yes. I just like the story. Any questions?
Very good. Any others? No? Right, so then thank you very much for the presentation.